So hello, my name's Anastasia Chapman. I went to RE Mountain Secondary in Langley. I'm 22 at the moment. 5 years in June, I was graduating high school. We had already had our prom and our ceremony, but we were just finishing our last day of classes. So a couple of my friends were going out and they were going quadding for the day in Stave Lake. So I obviously jumped on board. That sounded like a better time than studying for our last final. So basically, because it was a damp day, we wanted to have a bonfire. But to start the bonfire, we needed a little bit of help. We didn't really bring any newspaper with us. We were just kind of finding sticks and old logs and leaves that were around the area. One of the girls thought it would be a good idea to add a little gas to the fire, get it going again. I guess it was pretty low, or so she thought. And unfortunately for me, I was sitting in the low chair across from the fire, and when she threw the can across, it splattered over me. Face got burned, my hand, I lit on fire. I kind of started panicking and kind of running around. And the next thing you know, like my one friend, the one who was driving and was sober, jumped on me right away. I did go into shock pretty badly though. I don't really remember. I just remember my whole body shaking violently. And everyone kind of panicking, calling my mom, trying to figure out where the nearest hospital was. Nurses would come in and they would slowly kind of pick off, like change my dressings, pick off some of the dead, burnt skin. I had a home care nurse come for a couple weeks, and then eventually I went back into the hospital where I had 3 skin grafts done. They took skin from the right side of my thigh, and they also shaved half my head and took skin from my scalp, which was used for my neck here, my chest, and then the skin from my thigh was used for my hand. I ended up developing a very big keloid scar, which is, if you don't know, it's very bumpy, very rough. It sticks out from your face quite a bit. They encourage you, or you have to, wear pressure garments. So pressure garments, very tight, very thick fabric, kind of like an extra layer of skin. And it puts pressure on the skin graft to make sure you don't develop a keloid. I went in for another surgery, and this was a tissue expander, which is kind of rare. Basically, they put in an implant into my neck. Every week they would fill it with liquid, and it would eventually start to expand out. After 3 months of them expanding it, they took it out. They were able to cut off the scar, and now the skin was stretched so they could now sew it together. The thing people don't realize when you get burns is it's quite a long healing process. So it actually takes a couple years, more than a couple months, people may think. By then it was also summertime, so it was hard to see my visitors come in, and they were enjoying themselves in shorts. And yeah, I was a 17-year-old girl. I wanted to be outside, not in the hospital. Sorry, I'm gonna cry. I just constantly thought, why me? Why is this happening to me? Like, I felt like such a good person. I didn't feel like I really deserved it. Not that anyone really does, I guess. Just remember that gasoline is dynamite, and to be aware of your surroundings, and hopefully you can learn from me and my friends' mistakes and be safe this year, especially with the grad season approaching and everyone going camping. And yeah, just be safe about it, because it's really not worth it in the end.
My name is Eric Vogel. I'm a director with the BC Professional Firefighters Burn Camp for children who have suffered a burn injury. Every year at camp, we get children who have been around fire when gasoline was used. You should never use gasoline to start a fire. Anastasia's story is just one of the many we see at camp every year.